with this first one that we're going to go over is on formatting and grammar. If you will look here, I have pulled up a paper that was considerably solid when it was turned in. It still needs work, mind you, but to begin with, let me just hit some basics, okay? If you scroll down the paper, you can see I leave notes on the side. Those are things that you should be reading. There's a variety of comments. Some of the stuff that I see in these papers that you absolutely have to do, we'll get to in the next video. But for this first video, I want to just look at the formatting. So I have another paper that was a good example. This one right here. Okay, and this is actually an example of the paper that you have to write for week 9. Now, this was posted, I believe. If it's not, I'm going to email these to everybody by tomorrow. So what you want to do is you can pull up this person's paper. Look, all of it's already formatted, okay? So all you have to do is put in your running head if you want, and you can actually leave the same running head. It's the same paper if you want to leave it. But when you have to do a header, if you go up here into the part of the paper that's in the margin, I'm going to double click, and now I'm in there. I can edit this. See? I can edit. Now I can right click on that and say accept deletion or reject it. So I'm going to reject it because I want it to stay there. Let me turn off the track changes in this case. Okay, so but that's how you do any header. Like if this wasn't even here, as a matter of fact, that header's a little long. So if I wanted to delete this, I could do this and put in healthy, oops, this should all be caps right here, my bad. There. Done. Page numbers are already there. I gave you this for a reason, so you would not have to mess with formatting the paper. It's there. You can just fix it however you want it. It's like I said, it's the same paper, so you can leave most of that alone. My name is actually Hester, not Hubble. So make sure that the name's right. You want to change the date there, and you want to put your name here. Okay? Now, and you can see on this particular thing here, this paper, yes, it's going to have comments and stuff on it, but the formatting is what I want you to look at it. I'll show you in a minute how to delete all of the comments and everything so that you can clean it off and get rid of all these comments down the side of the paper and all the changes that I made, okay? So, but it's formatted. There it is. It's got 1-inch margins. It's got the right font. It's got the right everything. You may have to tweak this in the end if you insert your own references, but we'll get that in a minute. Okay, so you go in, I'm going to add my name here. I'm going to reject that insertion, and I'm going to put Dr. Bridget, Mr. PhD. There we go. Boom. Okay, and I'm going to change the date. May. See how when I changed it, the comment went away? That's one way to do it. Okay. There. Bam. Done. Cover page. Done. Got the right margins. You have the right font. You have the right size font. There's the title. That actually needs to be pulled up one. Okay. So as you're doing this, now you can see when because you're going to delete all this off, and and I will check. If you try to use this paper as your own, I will catch it because I will run it in through turnitin.com. But this is a good example of a paper, and it, as far as tone, as far as voice, as far as all this other stuff. Now you can still, she still had some stuff she had to do in here, but for intensive, for all purposes, it's formatted correctly. So what I'm going to do is I will leave the cover page, but when I send this to you, I'm going to delete all of this before I send it. It's just going to be the formatted cover page, and the rest of it will be blank, and you have to, and I'll probably insert, well, you know what, we'll do that right now, this way you can see, and I'll email you this paper. Okay, so you're going to change this. I'll highlight it so you know to change it. And you're going to change this. Okay, Now, just so you know, let's go down here. You can see where I have, well, anywhere there's been an insertion, like here, here, where I've told her to cite something she did not cite. That's another video too. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to format this for you guys where you have the cover page and everything else is going to be formatted. I'm going to let me show you how to accept changes on. This is another one. Okay. Now, you can see all these things on the side that I have given as a reference. This was a pretty good paper too. Very little correction. Let me find one that's got quite a bit of correction. We have, oh, we'll get to that one in a minute. That was just not good. Okay, the solid bit needs work. Okay, here we go. You can see no headers, no page numbers. That would need to be fixed. But you can see all of these corrections where I've inserted, I've changed words, I've sharpened up sentences. Okay, when you get your paper back like this and you want to keep the changes I've made, you go to Review. Over here you see accept and reject. I'm going to accept, and I can accept all changes in documents, and bam, there you go. It's taken care of all the stuff that I corrected. It's in there. Okay, there still might be some adjustments, like that's got to be pulled up a little. I need to accept that deletion to pull it up. Now, when you get a paper, you can accept all the changes so you can see what I did, what it would look like with all the changes in it. Now, when I give you a comment, you can address it, and then once it's addressed, I want you to right-click on the comment and delete. Comment goes away. You do that as you correct them. This is not just for this class, but this is for any class, because it's not like you're going to turn in another draft of this paper, so you don't necessarily have to do all this. But for any paper, when you get comments back and you get corrections back, that's how you take care of it, is you accept the changes or reject all the changes, and you go through, you make corrections, and then delete the comments so that they're not still there. Now, so again, as far as formatting and all your references, this is a big thing. I got a lot of people that had references, you know, right at the end of the paper, like they were right there. That's not how you do. You've got to get everything down onto a separate paper. Your references need to be on a separate paper, the very last page. And so that's pretty much your formatting. I mean, I'm giving you the format for the font, the headers, the page numbers, everything. I will send you it'll say like blank formatted paper that you can go insert your own stuff. It'll have the headers, it'll have the cover page, you just put your name in it and then start hammering down. It's got the margins will be right, and the text, the body of the paper will have the right formatting. Okay, now if you still choose to not do that, that's fine. You can format it yourself. I put a video in the Student Center on how to format a paper from scratch, which you should watch because you need to know that for all intents and purposes. Now, okay, when you do, I'm just going to mess with this paper a little so you can see. Okay, when you start to type, it's like this. Don't use your space bar like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to indent a paragraph. Okay, oops. See what I did there? I went too far. This is actually a good example. Okay, if you haven't formatted your paper and it's single spaced, this is what you do. Highlight all of it. Okay. Put your cursor in the middle, right click. Paragraph. I want all of these on 0. Indentation and spacing all needs to be on 0. This should say double, none. Leave all that alone. So all zeros and double. Bam. There you go. And it's double spaced. So again, you're not going to use your space bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to indent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's not do that again. There's a tab key on the left side of your keyboard, just under the ESC button, down a couple buttons under the 1. Bam. That's how you indent. You use the tab space. Now, make sure, see here, right there, you need to have 2 spaces in between each sentence. One, because I'm old and it makes it easier for me to see it. Secondly, it's also an APA thing. So you can right click, hit the little dot right there, and it'll move it over. And as you can see, there's something wrong with this sentence. That's why all the squiggly marks come up under your sentences. And it gives you a different way to word it so that it's grammatically correct. So we'll get to grammar here in just a second. But now, when you review your paper, okay, you can send it. I prefer you use Grammarly, which is right here. You can copy and paste into here and it'll check your text. It will find 250 types of grammatical mistakes, as you can see right here. It'll detect plagiarism. It'll improve your word choice. It's compatible. You can do it. You can upload a file. You may have to download it, the actual software, or at least sign up for it. I strongly recommend that you use Grammarly. Now, however, there are some people that will choose not to use Grammarly. That's fine too. If you're not going to use Grammarly, I want you to place this cursor at the first part. Then I want you here, over here at spelling and grammar. My child is videotaping me while I'm making this. Hello, dear. Okay, so you hit spelling and grammar. This little box here at the bottom, check grammar. Make sure that that box is checked. Now, you can see it's just a period. And I'm going to change that, and it's instantly... Well, now I need to put track changes back on so you can see it. Change. It's going, well, it's supposed to show. It's probably because I don't have it on. There we go. You know what? Let me turn the track changes back on. There we go. Okay, spelling and grammar. It's going, see here? Now you can see where it's inserted, okay? You need to have 2 spaces in between. Like I said, it's easier to read, plus it's an APA requirement. Now, go back into spelling and grammar. That's why I did a video on this, because I know I bounce around a little. You back up and rewatch. Make sure your check grammar is checked here. Then I also want you to click options, okay? Make sure that all the boxes are checked according to how this looks, okay? You want to ignore words in uppercase because you might have some sort of acronym. You just need to be careful when you're doing it. Traditional and new spellings. I don't know why. Sometimes you can do traditional spelling or new spellings. I just leave it on both. Okay. Check your spelling as you type. Use contextual spelling. Mark grammar errors as you type. Please make sure this box is checked. And check grammar with spelling. Make sure that is checked. Okay. Writing style. Just put grammar only. You can put style and grammar, but style may mess up a little bit because everybody's got their own style. So just put grammar there. Now, if I go to settings there, comma required before last item, always. Punctuation required with quotes inside. That means your period goes inside your quotation marks, and required spaces between sentences. There it is. I want you to make sure that says 2, and then you can check all these boxes under grammar. Actually, maybe we should. You can. This is actually probably a good idea. For style, since I seem to have a big problem here as of late with people using words that are slang or too casual, or these cliche colloquialisms and jargon. There were several papers that got marked for that. I've never used, just because I'm used to checking for it. But what you want to do is, let's go ahead and just check all of it. This is going to check and help with your academic voice, like I marked in some papers, okay? So then hit OK. I'm just going to come out of grammar altogether. Now, now I would be able to go back through and run it and just grammar check it. Okay, so this is not worded appropriately. There's some subject-verb agreement problems, and it gives you suggestions on how to fix it. Dollar menus fill the airwaves, and while most food chains, fast food chains like McDonald's and Chick-fil-A post the calorie count on their menu board, it is difficult not to see that the more expensive items are the lowest calorie items. Okay, very long sentence, and the subject-verb agreement is not good, so they give you the option to reword. So you would pick one of those, whichever you think sounds best, and move on. I'm going to ignore it for now. Okay, then see, it's going to fix my 2 spaces in between each period, and it's going to do that throughout as I do. Now, passive voice is something that I put on everybody's paper, bar none. I do not really ding for it that bad, but it is something that you need to try to correct. Okay, you want, here's the explanation. And if you run across something like passive voice or split infinitive or fragment, if you'll hit explain, it tells you what's wrong with it so you can fix it, okay? You need to use an active verb. When you get something that says it's passive voice, it means it's not active enough. It's passive, and it needs to sound more active. Like, for instance, so you got the example here of Juanita was delighted by Michelle. That's passive voice. Michelle delighted Juanita. You can see that this here, the second one right here, is more active. So if I was going to make this particular sentence more active in the 21st century society is very technologically focused. Okay, and if I tried to reword that, maybe it might be in the 21st century. See, even your professor needs spell check because I'm tired. Nope, see, still didn't spell it right. '21st century is more technologically. See, I'm telling you, it's called lack of sleep. Advanced than any other period in history. Okay? Oh, look at that. See? Did it. Passive voice. You got to be, it's very, very hard. And that's why I'm making the point of showing you I do it all the time, and I've been writing for 17 years. So it's going to be one of those challenges I'm not going to count off for it. I just want you to be aware of it. See, I'm having a hard time figuring how I want to word the sentence. What is wrong with my computer? Change the color scheme. Okay, fine. Oh, snap. There we go. All right. So is the 21st century. Let's just delete this. Is focused on technology more than any other period in history. Let's see how we did there. I'm telling you, I can type it and sometimes it still pops up. See, even if I take out very, it still is focuses on technology. Made it more active. There we go. Focuses on technology more than any other period in history. That's the same thing as saying that in this 21st century, society is technologically focused. So it's a matter of taking it and making it more active. And see, it took me a minute. So don't feel bad if it's a problem, if it's hard to do. It's going to be hard to do, okay? Just try to fix them as best you can. I want you to work on it. So I'm going to sit here and do the spell check with you. Say, even in the gym, comma, it's missing a comma, change it. Passive voice again. So I'm going to ignore passive voice for right now. You would want to fix that as you go, or put something. Now see, look, let me show you. See the green squiggly mark? that's telling you something is not right. I don't even have to have spell check on. I can hover over that, right click it, and it tells me passive voice. Okay, so but we're going to use the spell check. I'm just going to skip over the passive voice. Ignore. I'm going to fix my periods. I'm going to add that to the dictionary. Let's see. Change. Passive voice again. We'd skip over that. This is a spacing thing. Yes, they can use the semicolon, but they didn't put a space in there. So change. Not, they needed a space, period. That is incorrect. It's vowel, so you're going to change the sentence. That's an author's name. I would just add it to the dictionary. Most authors' names are going to come up kind of wonky. There's passive voice again. Change. Okay, here's another sentence where it could be done better. It could be written better. Okay, as far as grammar check goes, I'm just going to leave it at that. Remember to make sure this is checked. Make sure to go to options. Make sure that these boxes are checked. We're going to check grammar and style. I forgot to check that. Make sure your settings and that all of this is checked. Use the first person. Please make sure that's checked because we're fixing to do that here shortly. All right, make sure all of this is checked. Always. Inside. 2 spaces. Okay. Bam. Bam. Okay. I'm going to turn this off for right now. All right. So you're going to spell check it. Grammarly does the exact same thing. And I say it does it a little bit better than the spell check in Word does. So I would use, like I said, I showed you this earlier, I would use the Grammarly, and it's grammarly.com. If you can't find it, just look it up on Google, okay? I also, on a lot of papers, gave you this kind of link here. You're going to find, in academic writing, it needs to have a good voice. It needs to sound like a research paper. You're not telling me a story. You're not telling me your opinion. You're not, you don't want to write a paper in the same way that you have a conversation with someone. You want it to sound more professional. You want it to sound more academic. You're reporting information. You're not having a conversation, and you're not writing a letter to your friend. It's hard. I mean, because we get passionate about certain stuff, and we want to throw in you and I and we and us and all these first and second points of view, and that's what you want to avoid. This is a pretty good website because it shows you when to avoid it, how to fix it. Does this one, let me see. Writing Commons is a good one. Okay. That's formatting. Here's, I gave you links for this too. I'll give you an email with links and all this stuff. General format, APA guidelines, major paper sections, all of your, and plus I also put a video online in the Student Center on how to format a paper. So, you know, we've covered kind of the using Grammarly, using the spell check and the grammar. I'll give you again this link for the Purdue OWL, and the Purdue OWL, you might as well just bookmark it. You're going to be writing papers the rest of your college career. You need to bookmark. Hold on one second. I apologize. But you need to bookmark the OWL because it's extremely helpful. And this first and second person, I'm going to open up another screen here. Let's see. I want to go to Google. If I just put in avoiding first and second person in writing, okay, I'm going to get a plethora. This is where I was, avoiding second person point of view at the Writing Commons. This is a pretty good one here. You just want to peruse it. You just need to rephrase it, okay? You don't need to have it in terms of it, because when you have first and second person, it sounds too casual. Okay, so for instance, let's see. Let's look. That paper didn't use it. This paper might have. We got slang in here. We've got the formatting is just all kinds of wrong on this paper. This is actually a good example of a really bad paper as far as the formatting goes. It's I don't know what this is. I never could figure this paper out when I was grading it. I don't know what he did. Double, none, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's better. Let's see. I still can't fix it. I do not know what he did or she did when they wrote it. So it's one of those things where you have got to seriously focus on your formatting. That's why I gave you a copy. I'm trying to find a good example of use of first person. And since I can't, we're just going to do this. Open. No. File. New. Document. Okay, just as an example, let's say, I feel that the subject of developing countries is important so that people understand what's up in the world. Okay, we're going to address a couple things here. First, use of first person. We want to reword this so it sounds more third person or detached, or you're reporting something. So you could easily fix this by saying some researchers. Let me just rewrite it in the appropriate way, and then I'll show you the two different things, okay? So some researchers in the developing world oops, two periods now. See? Even on. See? I even used the wrong word. See what it did there? Hold on. Connections among cultures is clear. That's not right. It's connections among cultures. I'm going to hover over it, right click on it. Or I can word it as connection among cultures, but I want to use plural. Okay? So I've addressed two things here. First is the I. This here. I feel. No, 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 no. Unless an assignment specifically calls for you to give your personal opinion, do not use I in a paper, okay? The whole idea of writing a research paper is to give us research, not what you feel. And while what you feel is important, and I'm all for that, in a research paper, you don't use first or second person. So this is what we did here, is I changed it to some researchers in sociology, or I might put people within a society. We could rewrite it like this: people within a society need to study the connections among cultures to gain more understanding. Okay, that could be another way that you do it. So instead of saying some researchers in sociology, you might say people within a society need to study the connections. Okay, both of these, this one and this one, totally acceptable. This one's not. Again, this is reason number one, the first person. The second reason that this is inappropriate is this right here. To understand what's up in the world. No, 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 no. That is what I have put on your papers, okay, as slang, okay, or jargon. Again, it's one of those things where you don't want to sound like you're carrying on a conversation, or you're having a discussion over coffee with like your bestie. It's about writing in an academic, formal tone. This right here, not acceptable for a paper, okay? So you can see we just reworded it down here. So like in the second one, to study the connections among cultures to gain more understanding. It basically means the same thing. It's just worded in a more academic, removed, almost detached third person voice, and it sounds more academic. Now, and down here it's the same thing. It's this basic meaning in the sentence means the same thing as this sentence and this sentence here. Okay, so it's just a matter of rewording. So let's try another one. Let's do, there was one, hold on. There was one that used some slang. I know because I saw it. I don't know why I always go back to that paper. That's one of the good examples. I mean, that one just, I know somebody had, and I didn't want to use a current paper. If y'all hear something in the background, that would be my cat having a conniption fit. Do not knock that off the table. Okay. Okay. Let's see. And we'll get to formatting APA as far as citations in the next video. Slang. Okay. The U.S. correction system is too nice to criminals, and prison overcrowding is caused by too many repeat offenders. Okay. True as that may be, we need to reword this a little. Okay? So we might say, some may argue that the United States, you want to spell it out first and then you can use the abbreviation of US. Penal system or correctional system, that's fine. I use penal system. Some may argue that the penal system is too, I misspelled that, I know I did. I am horrible with spell check. Okay, too lenient. In regards to how inmates are treated, and my fingers are not working at how inmates are treated, thus creating is too nice to inmates, is too lenient in regards to how inmates are treated, and the number of prisoners per, prisoners per facility. Okay, so in regards, my sentence structure is bad. See, I'm telling you, you guys are not alone here, okay? This takes some practice and you have to do it. And don't get hung up like I'm doing when you're writing. Just write it. Just get it down on paper. You can go back and fix it later, run it through Grammarly, okay? So it's too lenient in regards to, let's make this more concise. Is too lenient regarding the number of inmates and how they are treated. Still not good. Okay, I'm telling you, this is not as easy as it looks. Writing is not as easy as it looks. So, I mean, and I think you guys can watch me do this and understand. Look, I've been writing for 17 years. I still struggle with this, okay? So it's not something that just comes naturally. So when I grade your paper, don't think that I'm picking on you, because I'm not. I'm picking you on stuff. I'm not picking on you, but I'm pointing out stuff I want you to fix, because it's stuff that I still struggle with too, and it takes practice. But the more that you do, the better you get. Eventually, you don't do these mistakes. And a lot of times, you'll still do them, but you need to take the effort to go back and fix it. Is too lenient and Prisons are over. There we go. Okay. Says the same thing. See, and that's a more, it took me a minute to get there. It takes us all a minute to get there sometimes. Concise, short, to the point. I was trying to explain it too much. I was trying to flesh out the sentence too much. And when you do that, your sentence structure suffers. Sometimes your verb, subject-verb agreement will suffer. So now this, too nice to criminals, is the slang. So we got rid of that, okay, by changing it to too lenient. And we still mentioned that prisons are overcrowded. Oh, let's add, because he put repeat offender with repeat offenders. Okay, there we go. Dang it, see, when I did that, now I have passive voice. So again, it's just one of those things you're just going to have to check and redo and fix. So let me, and see, it wasn't passive voice till I added the end of that on there, okay? So this is fine. You don't have to put with repeat offenders. You can say, may argue the penal system is too lenient. Has many repeat offenders. And that prisons are overcrowded. Forgot my and. There we go. So there we go. Fixed. No passive voice. It's not too bulky. It's concise. The sentence structure is fine. There you go. Again, you can get really hung up trying to do this, but you do not have to do this as you go. Look, just get it down on paper. Just write it down what you want to say, and then go back and do the grammar. Then go back and do the mechanics. Then go back and run it through Grammarly, okay? So slang is one of those things that's a problem. Make sure your paragraphs are full paragraphs. I get papers all the time that have like 2 sentences or 3 sentences that are a paragraph. That's not a paragraph. A paragraph is 4 or 5 sentences. Make sure that you are indenting your paragraphs. Here we go. We had somebody use it was 5 spaces like I showed you at the beginning instead of the tab. Make sure you use the tab key. Make sure you formulate your paragraphs. This is a really long sentence. This is way too long, okay? I'm not going to go over every possible thing, but it's stuff you need. That's why I'm trying to point out this is why you put your stuff through Grammarly. This is why you go through the spell check. If you have a different version of Word than I do, because I'm fairly certain this is like 2010 maybe, then you can find how to set your grammar and your spelling tool in Word. If you have like Microsoft 2013 or whatever, you can go to YouTube and find a video and they will show you how to do it. But we've gone over the spell check and the grammar. I've shown you Grammarly to use this if need be. And then I want you to bookmark the owl, like I said, and how to search for. This is a good, the grammar girl is a good one for first and second person. Explains why you use, gives you examples. Okay. And there's actually, I know that there is another website. I cannot find it. I haven't been able to find it for a couple days. I need to find it again. But you can type in something and it will tell you how to fix it. So, I mean, and Grammarly will fix it for you. And so will your spell check. If you have your spell check turned on, like I said, let's go back real quick before we stop this video, to go to grammar and style, come down here to the bottom, use of first person, it's going to catch it. So I would just check all of this off. And I'm glad I reset this because I forgot to do that before. So it can, grammar and style, when you add the style in there, it can get a little picky, but for intents and purposes, you want picky right now, okay? So for this video, the formatting, like I said, I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to leave the page numbers, I'm going to leave everything on it, and I'm going to remove all the comments, I'm going to remove the paper pretty much. I'm going to give you the Wait a minute, is this the one I want to give you? Hold on. Which one was the better one that I liked? This one. Okay. I'm going to remove all the paper. I'm going to leave you the formatting. I'm going to leave you the cover page. I'm going to leave you the headers. I'm going to leave you the page numbers. And I'm going to type in the title. And I'm going to delete pretty much everything else. It's formatted. Use it. I will send it to you via email. Now, this, when you insert your references, you might... and I'll show you how to format a reference real quick, okay? Let's say that I insert, let me just make my own, hold on a minute. As a matter of fact, let me do it on this one. Hester B. M. Oh wow, it's been a while since I've done one. 2015. See, even I have to go back and check because you know what? We're going to do this. I'm going to show you something. No, not that one. Let's use this one. I'm going to copy this real quick so I can show you something. All right, I'm going to go back. I'm going to put this here so I format my own right. All right, I write a paper. See, I'll misspell it when it's spelled correctly right below me. Analysis of good writing, grammar, world report. We're just going to call that something, okay? Comma, page 1 through 5. Okay, now, let me make this longer so that you can see the difference when I got a grammar report of mechanics. There, I'm making this up. Okay, page 1 through 15. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I had the format correctly. All right, so let me get rid of that. All right, so let's say this is going to be one of my sources. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to my good paper that's already formatted. Okay, because yours is you're going to use the blank paper I give you. All right, and so all of these are going to be gone, and you're going to have in the copy of this I send you where it's formatted. You know, I'll have a little page that says references. All right, I'm going to copy my reference. Okay, see, first, what's wrong? All of this has to be the same font times New Roman. Has to be the same size, 12 font. Okay, what's wrong with this picture? What's wrong with this picture is it's single spaced and it doesn't have the right indent. Okay, so to format your references, once you copy and paste your references or type out your references here, okay, on the formatted paper, you're going to highlight it. Then I want you to right click over it, paragraph, keep all of this right here 0, double, under special right here, I want you to click hanging. Don't touch anything else. Slide down to the bottom, hit OK. Bam, there you go. All right, and oops, it's still not right. Hold on, because this needs to be italicized if memory serves correctly. Oops, let's double check. No, wrong paper. I always double check. And if I'm not sure if that's supposed to be italicized, let's do this. I'll show you how to find it. All right. I'm going to go to the Purdue app. I'm going to go to Reference List Basics. All right. Now, do not italicize, underline, or print such as journal articles. Italicized titles of longer works such as books and journals. Okay, if I'm still not sure, let me go to reference list, other print sources. Let's say that this is in this grammar world report of mechanics is a journal, okay? Not a magazine, but a journal. Okay, so I'm going to check. That's an encyclopedia, secondary source. Nope, wrong page. Sometimes you just have to find it. Let's see. Books, reference list, articles, and periodicals. That would be a journal article. Basic form. Title of periodical, volume number is italicized. See here? Look right here. See how that's italicized? But I did it wrong because I italicized my page numbers and I didn't need to do that. So I'm going to come back here and take the italicize off it. So there you go. All right. So, I mean, and go back. I didn't mean for this video to run that long, but go back and look at this. Replay it if you need to. Call me if you need to. That's why I gave you guys my number. You can call me. You can email me. A lot of people, I went ahead and formatted your reference list, but I'm going to take everything off this paper because I don't want anybody trying to get away with trying to take her ideas. But I will leave you the run-in head. I will leave you the page numbers. I will leave you the cover page. All you got to do is make sure the date and your name is right. And then the rest of the paper is going to be formatted, you know, as far as margins and the type of font and the size. You just go ahead and put your stuff in it and start writing. And I can even put headers in there to keep you on track. Like for her paper, I'll just put headers in it. You'll see what I'm talking about. And that'll actually keep you on track when you are writing your paper and addressing the rubric points. So I'm going to close this out. Since you guys can see my screen, let us see, I opened a lot of stuff for you guys. Okay. Those are my children. And I'm going to stop this, and then you can look at the next one, which is going to be on, it's just going to be in text citations and stuff like that, and it shouldn't be too terribly long. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.